All right. Hey, Shawn. Welcome to Being Heard. And my name is Tom Graham, and I'm committed that every voice be heard, including my own. And I'm here today with Shawn Matheny. Welcome, Shawn.
Hello.
Um, you want to say a little bit about yourself and what you're up to?
Sure. I live in Canada, in BC, New Westminster, just outside of Vancouver.
Yep.
Um, I'm an electrician by trade, but however, right now I'm starting a coaching business for young men, and I'm also doing another affiliate program with Rail Innovations. It's a new
Ah,
business platform. So with a young man, I'm just committed that they are powerful,
yep.
actually. Just like you, like they're speaking their voice, they discover what they want to contribute and they contribute it to the world.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So today we're talking about the 7P's, and the 7P's are something that I kind of just scooped up together. And scooped up together means through my life experiences, I figured out that passion, perseverance, perspective, priorities, purpose, patience, and prayer really made a difference when I paid attention to them. And yeah, so I've got a question for each of them, and we'll just get started.
Okay.
Sounds good. So the first question is around passion. What actions do you take to increase your passion?
What actions do I take? Hmm. Well, I get, I get on a lot of training calls, a lot of Zoom calls every day
Yeah.
to keep me engaged and keep me in community and I don't know how to say it, but keep my keep my other voice, keep it down as much as possible. So
Okay.
the one that so yeah, I mean, the more I stay in engaged with other people and that, the better. That's how I'm doing it to increase my passion, and I increase it by um like being in action and doing things that aren't comfortable for my voice, but they are um good experiences, fun experiences. They get
Yeah.
into what my passion really is,
Yeah.
having good conversations and supporting people. So that's really what I do to increase it. Other than that, the other thing I do is I get on my riding gear and go for a ride on my motorbike.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
yeah, the other thing is I take Kathleen with me because seeing her have a great life is a passion of mine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's no right or wrong answer. It's there are for any of these questions, there's no right or wrong. It's just it's not just, it's a place to look.
Well, it sounds like discovery.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just sounds like I can't even remember the word. What do you call that now? Can't remember. But yeah, like you say, it's a place to look. I can't remember. We call it. We say it all the time. But
I was
anyway.
I the whatever it came through, it was like mining for gold,
Hmm.
panning for gold. It's like all of a sudden, woohoo, I got a new passion.
Hmm.
That's kind of the gist of how it occurs for me. And it's like, what is it that you do to find more gold in your passion?
Well, yeah, and some of the things aren't always like you jump at them, but I mean, my passion is to be healthy, like to feel good, right? So
Yep.
I go running, and I just come from a run actually before this.
Awesome.
So, um, and and generally speaking, I don't really want to go most of the time, but I also know the other end. I always feel good coming out of it, and generally, I run like 5 kilometers every day. So generally, by the end of the second one, I'm definitely in a mode, in a zone, and it's like you could just sit there for a while. I
Yeah.
ran marathons before, and it was the same thing, right? You get into a zone, and it's like you can run for quite a while, just chugging, if you will.
Right. Right. That's great. I didn't ever get past a half marathon.
Right. Well, that's still good. Although I got to admit, like, um, a marathon's a whole nother world. A half marathon, like once I ran it and ran a marathon, like a half marathon, I could just run it. It's like, and I've heard this from other people too. It's Canada metric. It's 42 and 21 is your half marathon, right?
Yep.
So 13 miles, but it's right around probably 20 or 18 miles probably, or anywhere between that, like 15 to 20, and 26 to 30 kilometers is when people start talking about, ooh, they feel a little bit of a wall.
Yeah.
They feel a little bit of a gear down for a little
Yeah.
while anyway.
Which is great, because the next question is perseverance. And this question is, what's worth so much that you would push through anything to have?
Well, I pushed through some things with my health,
Yep.
and and I faltered here and there, but I could never just leave it forever. So um yeah, I went up to 210 pounds at one time, and I never went and looked at that again. I went down to 170 and then up to 190, and then I went way low, and then I went up to 170. So every time I go down, I never go as far up again, right?
Yeah.
But what else there is I guess something else I've never, to me, connection in the world is something that I've been, and a lot of that had to do with my own sorting myself out. But that is definitely persevered with that, and I don't always recognize it. I get upset sometimes. Like, what's the point? You know,
Right.
I don't always remember that you don't fail unless you quit.
Okay.
And lots of times I have other people point it out to me,
Yeah.
but it's getting to be a little more vivid for me at this point.
Yeah.
So that's what like my vision for the world: intimate families and an intimate world with abundance for all of humanity. I got that posted on the wall. So yeah.
So that pulls you. That you'd push through anything for that.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole picture, and what's closer to me is my children, even my former wife. I want to see her win. We
Yep.
got together young with all our stuff, knew nothing, and when I look back, wow, if I'd only known that and that and that, right?
Sure.
So I mean, I still talk with her, and she's doing better, and she struggles with stuff like all of us. But yeah, I just want to break the cycle of what her and I grew up with, and arguably pass some of it down to our children. They had to live with us, our struggles, right? So
Yep.
that's enough. I mean, that's the one that's close, so close that I can't. It's more tangible, if you will.
Right.
It moves me more, and it drives me more, right? Like, I don't hear the world maybe knocking on my door, right? But I hear my daughter, phone and be, struggling with something. So
Yeah.
yeah, struggling with um I don't know what you want to, staying higher energy, like struggling with being down, or so that's something I've struggled with in my life. So
Okay. Well, thank you.
thank you.
The next word is perspective. And the question is, would shifting your perspective change your level of joy in the moments?
That's a trick question, right? Well, and the answer to that is just about every moment. You
Yep.
know, even, and that's not to be, even when I'm in joy, probably if I shifted it again, I'd be in more joy. But I have a lot of moments where shifting my perspective would give me more joy. That's for sure. That was the question, right? Give me
Yep.
more joy.
Yeah. Well, would shifting your perspective change your level of joy in the moments?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, especially when some of those moments, there's no experience of joy for sure. It would shift in my, and and that's it's kind of connected to those other questions about what would make you persevere, and that's what has me persevere. Like I'm knowing, like my daughter and my son give me that. What I may not do for myself, I might just curl up on the bed in the fetal position, but I don't want that for them.
Yeah. And so that's part of your, what is it? Your, that drives you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. When I can't do it for myself, I have it to do for them.
Awesome. And then kind of leads to the next question, priorities. And this is the question, are your priorities setting you up for success in creating more joy?
I think so. I mean, yeah, I think so. I think I think I try to follow what my heart is saying. So yeah. I just don't think there's anything else but connection. And that's where all the joy is when we're experiencing that. Then so that's where my priorities always are.
Yeah.
Except for in those moments when I forget. But I mean, overall, that's where my priorities are.
Awesome. The next one is purpose. And the question
Well,
for that, the
oh,
question
sorry,
for
go ahead.
purpose, the question for purpose is your ladder up against the right wall?
I think it is. I know that it's like all the walls are related anyway, that I'm in that room. It's one of those four walls. I'm in the right room anyway. So that's the thing, right? It's just how, like I say, I'm starting, this coaching business. I really want to see young men, if I can support them in dealing with some of the stuff I didn't even know I was dealing with when I was their age, right? And with
Right.
marriages, with children, right? So that's where I'm coming at. Sometimes I wonder, but I think that's I heard someone call it the mind frick, the voices, the monkey mind, right? Just not feeling like it, or tired, or it's not going well, or whatever. And then I go, oh, I don't care about this at all. I'm just, right. I'll have that voice will be added. So what I'm saying is it's going to be contributing to somebody, or somehow something in the world. So,
Yeah.
right. So who knows I think I'm on the right path. If the universe has something else lined up for me, I think I'm at least on the right path. So,
Awesome. Patience is the next word.
are you selling those? I'll take
what?
a dozen. I just said, if you're selling those, I'll take a dozen.
See, okay, this is perfect then. Are there areas where you don't have patience?
Yes.
You see any
You,
patterns?
I can only think of one area right now, and that's life. And that's how it occurred to me. My partner always says I have I have lots of patience, and I got to admit, I'm not quite sure that I do. I see it sometimes, maybe, but I guess I'm just judgmental of myself. Like I'm pretty hard on it, so I don't see it, which doesn't help patience because I'm not patient with myself. But I got
So maybe that's it, huh?
what's that?
That's where the kind of the central pattern is.
With myself, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, it definitely. Yes, it is. That's where I
Yeah.
started, was with having compassion and patience with myself, and then it boils over, right? I
Yeah, I
know I
get it.
got out of hand to David, my partner. I says, "Well, you still think I got patience?" But yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Awesome. I appreciate your generosity and sharing what's there. Thank you. One more, and it's prayer. And so the question around prayer is, do you use prayer to look at what you're proud of, what you're grateful for, what you desire, and what you love about yourself?
I'm starting to, Tom, is what I would say. And then when I say starting to, I think I have off and on over the last 20 years from the time I got into Al-Anon. I haven't went there for many years, but when I realized there was something more than what I was doing, my early 30s, 30, 31, and I ended up in Al-Anon. That's the first time I even knew I could pray without being in a religion. I didn't know you could have spirituality without religion. It seems crazy to me now, but that was like, and it just seems so surreal that I would ever not known that, but I didn't. I thought you had to be in religion, and my experience growing up just wouldn't handle that. I just saw a lot of fights in the house and the world, and so it was a huge relief because, and I didn't know the relief it was until I got it, because that was the thing that I think I was always really spiritual, and I couldn't be in it because I thought I had to be religious and I wouldn't go there. So yeah, I don't even know if I'm saying this very well or clearly, but so especially I definitely I'll tell you, when I'm on my knees, and that has happened once in a while over the years,
Right.
I'm definitely praying like, help me,
Yep.
you know, and and as a general thing, I'm praying just in remembering to be grateful.
Yeah.
So, and as far as what you're talking about specifics, I'm definitely working on getting that into some sort of consistency.
There's no right or wrong answer. It's
Well,
what is it for you?
yeah, and I'm just thinking out loud of what, like, that's important to me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting that it's more and more important. Like, I just believe that I'm like the man on the moon and ground control. It's a little backwards, but I believe the universe is like ground control, and I
Okay.
need to be listening, and I can get a lot of they can see the whole picture.
Yep.
I only see what's right in front of me, and so having some faith in that and know that the universe has got my back, and actually not just knowing that, but actually creating the relationship, and I do have some relationship, but I want a much deeper one. And that would also go back to what we we're talking about earlier around being hard on myself. That I don't know how you measure it, but that measures or points to the relationship I have with the universe as well. I think I'm guessing maybe, but my sense is that it's all relative. To the extent I have a relationship with myself and or the universe, the opposite is true. And whichever way, if I have a good relationship with myself, then I think the universe is going to fall in, because it's all one to me,
Yeah.
and they just kind of follows one another. So
Cool.
yeah, so that's a priority to me right now, actually.
Yeah. Creating, what I heard was creating habits that make for workability.
Yeah, having time in the morning where I'm listening to something that's in that realm and I'm reflecting on that. That's close to the word I was trying to think of earlier when we were
Yeah.
talking about discovery and all that.
Okay.
But that's close to it. But reflecting as a place to look, or whatever I'm reflecting on, a place to look. And just getting calm and quiet. Intuition's another one that I'm really, which is again really connected. That's one thing I learned to live out of my mind, like try to sort out what I could do to stay safe as a kid. And so I've never been able to. I think that voice is always going on, but I was never able to hear it. And it's funny, I just getting this by a couple of things that I'm doing lately is getting that voice is quiet and calm. And I'd always be taken out by it. I'd make a decision and this loud voice was, oh no, that's the wrong one, right? And then if I'd go, it didn't matter if I went left or right? I'd have some voice telling me, what are you doing? Are you sure about that? And that's the voice I've been running away from or dealing with my whole life. And I'm just going, okay, and one of the things I've heard this a couple times in the last year, but again, I was hearing it, is not worrying so much about just taking some action and testing it out to see if that's actually the voice that you're thinking you're hearing, right? And just testing it out to get a facility with it. So that's what I'm doing.
Awesome.
That's what I'm starting to do. Yeah.
Awesome.
Meditation is another one that I would like to prioritize. And I'm hearing, Jacob as well, and just hearing that world of, because right now I always have, but I mean, it's a little quieter right now, but it's a time thing, right? Again, well, how do I get up? Like I was meditating for a while, but then I wanted to exercise, and it was just like, Christ, it seemed like by the time I could get to my day, and I have stuff as you know, at 7 a.m, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like my clock is set for 4. I'm starting to get up at 5. Right. So I'm trying to work that whole thing out, like you said, like priorities, and doing enough that my passion is there. Because I know if I'm healthy, like exercising enough, that always makes me actually have more energy, but also where your mind is and your spirit is, that you also, there's no tired conversation. You're ready to go, sort of thing, right? So anyway, I'm trying to get all that in there right now. I got a little bit of work to do.
Nice.
But I'm also looking at my run, right? That my run is a meditation in of itself.
Yep. They call it moving meditation.
Yeah. So that's another thing, right, Tom? I got to look. One of the other things is maybe I won't be doing the meditating the way I've always thought it needs to be, like doing everything perfect. Maybe my meditation will always be my run. I don't know.
And you can claim it.
I guess I could. However, and I'm just not there. However, I got to admit, I was doing meditation, like the sitting meditation, what a lot of people would look at right before we started to expand our idea that this is meditation. And because I definitely know people that say they just can't sit and do it, and they do this or that. And I always, like you're saying, I always say, yeah, well, that's perfect. Whatever worked for you, right? But my point is, I've done the sitting meditation. I really enjoy it.
Oh, wow.
So I want to do it, right? I want to do that too, right?
Right.
We'll see.
I'm hearing and.
What's that?
I'm hearing and.
Yeah, I want to run and meditate, and then maybe it's just another thing about just relaxing on how long everything has to be. I'm doing good now with my exercise, right? I actually knocked it down to 5 kilometers, and I just run it every day.
Yep.
Because you got to shower and change and all that, so it ends up to take a while, right? If you're taking an hour and 10 minutes to run 10K. So I think that's what I got to do with the meditation. The meditation that I did, I took a course, and it was taking 45 minutes to an hour, right? And I did this course, so then I kind of got I did this course, so I want to follow it, right? However, I think I'm going to be open to, it doesn't need to be that long.
Right.
Maybe 10 in the morning, 10 at night. That makes sense to me. It's one I've heard as well, right?
Yep. Awesome. Can you believe we got through 7 questions already?
Wow, and I was talking a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah. Why? How long was that?
I don't know.
Okay. I thought you were.
I wasn't paying attention. I've got 7
Oh.
questions, and I was listening, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that you just feel compelled to share?
Anything else I feel compelled to share? Well, I don't know if it's pertaining to anything, but I'll just be sharing.
Yeah.
I've really been faced with how accepting I am of myself lately, and how the way I see myself isn't the way other people see me, even when I'm really being a jerk in my world. I've been really, I don't know if I would say deliberately testing that out, but in the moment, I'm not holding much back in those last few days. And there was one in particular time that I really suffered a little afterwards, because I really felt crappy. But, and I'm realizing that is still my mind. Because my mind was saying, for sure you were a jerk that time. Because I started to think, well, okay, I'm not really being a jerk. They're understanding and all that. So then it just changes the words a little bit. So the next time I was reacting to something, I said, oh yeah, well, this is different. You're really being a jerk this time, or it's a numbers game. Man, that's 3 times in 3 days. They're not going to put up with that forever. So anyway, that's what I've been dealing with, and I'm really wanting to get on the phone. I got away again today without getting on the phone.
Okay.
So
day's not over.
The day isn't over. You're right. Thank you. So that's it.
What would you like to be acknowledged for?
For getting to the call on time. Because I was really, I got to tell you, I had it set for the wrong time in my day timer, right? But I started thinking about it, and it didn't make, all of a sudden it came to me, that doesn't make sense, because I was thinking of where you are. He says, well, that would be like 10 o'clock. God damn it. I bet. So it worked out anyway. Good job I had some time between my run and that in my schedule, right? Because I just walked in the door at the right time. So yeah, and I want to acknowledge the universe from having that work out.
I got it. So Shawn, I acknowledge you for your planning and your attention to detail and your consideration of me and my schedule. And even though things got mucked up in the calendar, it still worked out perfect. Because like you said, the universe has your back.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. I enjoy it. Good.
Yeah. And make it a great day.
Okay. You too.
I'm going to stop the recording here.
Okay.